right, so I've been wanting to explain a little bit here. People have been asking me in my group, the 100 rep sets. Why do I do 100 rep sets? 100 rep sets, if you Google them, there's so much misconception on that stuff. And then a lot of people use it for like plateau busting, things like that. It's been shown to do that. The thing is, a lot of this is all just based around doing 100 rep sets only for your workouts, which is, in my eyes, retarded. We know that using heavier loads, multiple sets, is going to accumulate more muscle mass than doing 100 rep sets. But there are also guys that have gotten to the pro level doing 100 rep sets. There's one guy that's notorious, I forget his name, but he got to the point of using his 80% max on squat for 100 reps. Tom Platz was notorious for doing 100 rep sets, and he taught this to Lee Priest. And one of the ways to get calves to grow is forcing 100 rep sets. Calves are a special muscle that don't take on blood easily. Another thing, capillaries. The capillaries in the muscle that carry blood through the muscle. When we train really heavy all the time, the blood capillaries actually restrict, and we don't get the blood flow through the muscle like we could. And that's why a lot of guys like powerlifters, for example, I believe from what I've seen, they might need a lot more rest between their training because they're doing the really heavy sets of 3, and their capillaries are so constricted that they need more time for recovery. 100 rep sets, I do one set of 100 reps before I do any exercise or any muscle group. So if I'm training back, I might do, assisted pull up for 100 reps. Biceps or triceps, I do 100 reps with a band. Push downs or curls. I do a 100 rep set of body weight squats with the heels elevated for when I start my legs. Chest, I'll use the X3, use a light band and do 100 reps. Shoulders, I use the lightest X3 band, the new orange one that John came out with, and I try to do 100 reps. So far, 65 is the best I can get. And that's even taken short, I try taking short pauses and getting to 100. I haven't done it yet, but I will. Our goal is to eventually, like my bicep curls, for example, you'll notice I don't stop. And the tempo needs to be decent too. I've seen a guy try to match me recently doing the 100 rep set, and he did it in like 2 minutes. Well, that's a second each. Like, what is that? 2 minutes, 120 seconds. That's like basically a second each way, where my set took almost 4 minutes. So I'm doing regular speed reps, feeling the contraction. But it's to start the workout. Now, one thing that has been shown is to increase the size of the capillaries within the muscle that the blood travels through. And this increases your ability to create a pump, and your recovery between sets increases. Your recovery period increases. And the more blood flow you can get through your muscles, the more nutrients and oxygen you can get through the muscles. And this is just the one set. The rest of my workout, I'm doing 15 to 30 rep sets. And I'm using the X3, or I'm using, calisthenic type stuff, dips, pull-ups. And I also use some equipment, everybody knows, from time to time, where I do loaded negatives, Emmerich Delsig style of training, which is extremely effective, but I will only do it on my last set. I'll do all my sets with the X3, for example, and then I'll do one set with with a lighter weight, but have somebody add a large amount of load to the negatives and carry the negative. And this is incredible for putting load through the muscle and getting enough reps. If you can put, and realistically, somebody like Tom Platz, for example, was famous for doing like 225 for 100 reps with his legs. His legs were enormous. Lee Priest learned from Tom Platz, did the same sort of thing. They would train real heavy, and sometimes they would just spend a week doing 100 rep sets, and the legs would still grow. Give the joints a break, and it would increase the blood capillary size and carry more nutrients, allow the muscles to develop and recover. It's also been shown for metabolic stress. The pump from a 100 rep set is incredible. You'll never experience a pump like you will from a 100 rep set, especially with like a band. When I do the X3 bicep curl for 100 reps, by rep number 80, it's not so much the burning sensation. It feels like my muscle from the inside, it feels like it wants to rip, right? That's the blood in the muscle. You're making room for more muscle. You know, the muscle's 70% fluid. If the muscle's 70% fluid, you make it take on 74% fluid. Now there's the groundwork there for more tissue, right? It's there. The blood, the space is there for the more blood and oxygen and everything else, so the muscle's going to be able to come up easier. Another thing, there's been literature, some of the studies I've looked at, 100 rep sets increase follistatin production. And we know follistatin is a gene expression that directly triggers muscle growth. So 100 rep sets, I do one set of 100 reps before my main workouts. If it's like today, I'm going to do my back workout with the X3, and I have a pull-up bar. I'm going to do straight arm pull downs for 100 reps before I do a set of pull-ups, and then I'm going to do my rows and deadlifts with the X3. And what I'm saying is, it's not going to hurt anything. If I do my 100 rep set, it'd take a little extra time. Do your 100 rep set, take 3-4 minutes, recovery, then start adding more load. Then I might do a set where I can do 30 reps. Then I might do a set where I add some load and I can do 20 reps. Then I'll add a load where I can do 10 reps. And you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting that volume, you're getting the load, the blood flow, everything else. And we have to push our body beyond limits that it normally would not handle. Too many people want the gains like myself and Johan and Daniel get and some other people, but you have to be able to push yourself further than other people are willing to go. There's an old video where Tom Platz took a weight belt and strapped a guy to a leg press machine and would not let him stop till he hit 100 reps. And they would push down on it on the leg press on the way down. And the guy would get to 25 reps and he didn't think he could take any more, and he'd make him sit there and take 10 deep breaths and get 10 more and get 10 more. Pretty soon he got to where he did 100 reps. The guy got up and he fell on the ground and couldn't walk for like 3 minutes. Okay? A lot of times we're using a light enough load, we're not tearing anything. We're just shocking the muscle. We're putting it through something that it's not used to doing. Now, for me, I know that what I've been doing is experimenting, because there's a new meta-analysis out that's proven there really is no such thing as too much volume. All we have to worry about is systemic fatigue. We can do 50 sets for a muscle in a week, as long as we're getting adequate nutrition, our hormone levels are good, we're getting adequate rest. And this is somewhere where, like, the supplements that I take with the growth factors, they help recovery at a really high degree. And the more volume I do, the more of them I take, and the more I recover. And I have a pupil right now that's experiencing the same thing. I took him under my wing. His doctor had him on a TRT dose of 500 milligrams a week for years, because it started at 150, it went to 200, 300. Pretty soon they get to 500. Where do you go? The guy hadn't made gains in years. He'd been the same. I took him, put him on my supplement regimen and my microdosing, and made him do 8 weeks for a full hypothalamus and testicular recovery. Now I've had him do a blast, and in 3 weeks he put on 8 pounds of muscle. He couldn't believe it. He's put on 8 pounds of muscle in 3 weeks. He hasn't gained muscle like that in years, and he's using 2/3 of the testosterone that he was using for TRT before. And he's, trying to explain this to other guys, and nobody will listen, and that's fine. The people that listen to us, I guess, are all the people we really need to care about. But I don't want to get off topic too much here. The 100 rep sets, there's a reason for them, okay? Blood capillary size, carrying more blood and nutrients through the muscle, shocking the muscle, getting an incredible pump, raising follistatin, lowering myostatin, and then finish with the regular workout. Don't worry about, just that 100 reps and then do another set. We follow the rest of the workout like we normally would. So that's where that all comes into play. Calves have been notorious for 100 rep sets, growing calves. Lee Priest was a huge proponent of that. Lee Priest had huge calves. Calves are a weird muscle. They're like the secondary heart in the body. They help pump blood up into our upper body, give our heart a break, and they're kind of like a cross between a skeletal and a smooth muscle, and they don't take on blood easily. So you have to do a lot of reps in order to get them to take on blood. So with calves, I still am not training them enough, but like my last calf workout, I hit 50 reps, dropped my legs, shook my feet out for 5 seconds, did as many more as I could. When I hit 100 reps, called it good, stretched my calves. And I'm going to start doing that just every other day. Another thing, between 48 and 72 hours after training a muscle, it begins to atrophy. So doing 100 rep sets on days after you've worked a muscle, before you work it again, you're stimulating growth, you're stimulating that muscle, you're putting blood through the muscle, activating receptors, things like that. That's halting that atrophy, okay? So you're not going to have a little bit of atrophy before you jump into your next training session. So these are all things that I'm trying to explain what the 100 rep sets are all about. 100 rep sets are beneficial, but we can't just use them solely as a workout. Now, there are guys that'll do 3 exercises, like they'll do an 8-week period where they do 3 exercises per body part and they do 100 reps per muscle, and they'll use a heavier weight and force themselves to do 100 reps. And that's fine, but that's not really going to give them any benefit above and beyond normal training. It is a way to shock the muscle and stimulate some growth possibly. But from what I'm seeing, you could do it before or after your workout. But after a workout, we're usually so tired, the 100 rep sets really aren't going to be worth a shit. Do it when you're fresh. And I, for some reason, have slacked off the last couple of days. I haven't done my 100 rep set curls for a couple days, and which reminds me, I got to start them up again today. 1 day a week, I'm doing a really hard, high volume bicep workout from several, and I'm doing like your standard curl. Then I'm doing a curl like the pull down style, doing hammer curls, reverse grip curls, reverse grip press downs, tricep extensions, things like that. And I'm not even really counting sets. I'm going to guess between the biceps and triceps, my sets are in the 20s. Okay. But then the rest of the week, doing, light push-ups using my triceps, doing the 100 rep bicep curls, same thing with shoulders. I blast my shoulders one day, but then the rest of the week I might do the light X3 band and try to get as many reps once a day as I can. You're not going to hurt progress. You're not tearing anything. You're just pumping blood into the muscle. You're lowering follistatin. You're increasing blood volume through the capillaries. You're pumping hormones through the muscle. You're activating receptors. You're stopping that bit of atrophy that there might be before the next workout. And so that's where that comes in. And I'm sticking to it. The 100 rep sets are what I've seen very beneficial. It's something that I'm going to continue on with my training. And another thing before I stop, 100 rep sets have been shown to help strengthen ligaments and increase ligament density without, you're not hurting the ligaments. 100 rep sets get so much inflammation in the ligament that you're increasing the ligament density and size. And then when it comes time to put more force through the ligaments, if you're doing it before a heavy workout, the ligaments are already full of fluid, the inflammation's already there. There's tons of fluid in there, much less likely to hurt a ligament. And if we have ligaments that are already bothering us, I would recommend to people maybe just do 100 rep sets for a while till that ligament heals, and use a band. If you're going to use a weight, use a very light weight, but strengthen those ligaments good and heal them before you start putting more weight onto them. Too many people, including myself in the past, would just try to work through injuries, and that's one of the worst things we can do. So there it is with 100 rep sets, and I hope everybody got something out of this. So let's think about this. Capillary size, blood flow, nutrient transfer, lowering follistatin, or raising follistatin, lowering myostatin, nutrient transfer, activating androgen receptors, metabolic stress, strengthening ligaments, and pumping hormones into the muscle, stopping atrophy. Okay? So, there you have it. My buddy Emmerich does a set of push-ups every day. He's up into the Smith machine where he has the bar at like weight height. He does 125 slow push-ups every day, every single day. And anybody that knows my buddy Emmerich, he's 73 years old, and he has a better physique than most guys will ever have in their entire life. So there's a lot to it. So with our understanding of training, our understanding of hormones, and our understanding of supplements and nutrition, we are at the forefront. And just like my buddy John Jaquish, we're all going places. It's pretty exciting. So stick with us. I'll quit boring you here, but there's my explanation of the 100 rep sets. Have a good day.